so many times we tend to focus on, and I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to create a product, and we begin to dilute our focus and efforts.
And I see way too many people that want to become entrepreneurs writing down too many goals.
And to be able to create massive wealth and massive impact, we have to go all in on one thing.
Hey, a goal without a deadline is just a dream, and empire builders don't dream. They take action and build their empire, right, B?
Yes, indeed. Empire builders set a goal and, of course, take massive action. And today, that is what our podcast is about.
Yes. This is Craig Ballantyne and Bedros Keuilian from the Empire Podcast Show, and we're going to talk about setting empire goals today. Now, Bedros, let's start with some stories. Let's have some fun here. Let's go back to one of the first and most important times when you set a goal in your life.
Yeah. So one of the first biggest monumental goals that I set actually was in high school. It was in high school and it was the summer before senior year. And being a foreigner, coming to this country, having let myself get out of shape, I was eating crappy food.
You loved your Arby's.
I grew up on Arby's. So right around junior year of high school, I realized that the prom was right around the corner, and I wanted to ask this girl, Nakaya, out to prom. Now, of course, I got to thinking, to increase my chances, I should probably be in good shape. I should probably work on my self-esteem and confidence to be able to talk to her. And no better time to do that than the summer of senior year. So I asked a friend, I said, hey, what would you do? Because he worked out really hard and he was on the football team. He was actually the center of the high school football team. And he said, look, get some muscle magazines and start reading them and do the workouts in there, do the eating plans from in there. And so I did. I just followed the plan. I come back and I had lost 34 pounds senior year, like the summer before senior year. Like I was a whole different person. People were actually like, holy smokes, you're a new person. We don't recognize you. This is fantastic. Now, I never worked up the nerve to ask out Nakaya to the prom, so while my body changed, my confidence hadn't evolved as quickly.
Didn't catch up.
Right, didn't catch up. Yeah, it just caught up last year, in fact, after 20 some odd years. But the story here is that when you have a goal and you have a deadline, you're going to achieve that goal. And for me, the deadline was to come back to high school senior year in September and be a different person so that I can get noticed by Nakaya. And I think most people who set goals these days really set a dream. You know, one day, it's the one day argument. One day I want to do X. And one day I want to be a millionaire. One day I want to fly first class. One day I want to go to Scotland and stay in a castle. One day kind of doesn't come because tomorrow becomes next day, the next day becomes next week.
It's too abstract.
It's way too abstract. So what do we need to do to help our friends, because this is the perfect time of year with the beginning of a new year, what do we do to help our friends not only take that one day dream and turn it into a goal, but then actionable steps to achieve it?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. By the end of this show, you're going to have exactly what you're going to need to do in the next 24 hours for you to take action on those goals. But there's actually one mistake that I want to share that I made way back in the day. So I remember back in 2007, it was about 12 years ago, just around the time when I had overcome my anxiety attacks. And I would sit down, and every year I would set goals. I remember sitting there back at home on the farm at my mom and my dad's kitchen table.
Was it Schrute Farms?
No.
No? Do you know what Schrute Farms is?
No.
The Office.
Oh, that's right. All right, Dwight Schrute.
Yeah.
Dwight Schrute Farms. No, it was Ballantyne Farms. And so I'm sitting there, and I had to go to a friend's wedding later on for New Year's Eve. And I was sitting there writing my goals out, and I wrote like 2 pages of goals in like 10-point font. And I see way too many entrepreneurs or people that want to become entrepreneurs writing down too many goals. So first of all, the goal doesn't have a deadline. They say they want to do something. They have this list of dreams, essentially. And then at the end of the next 12 months, they're just a year older and never having accomplished those big, important goals in their life, right?
True enough. And it's so important to, I'll give you a great example to that point. I remember 2008, 2009, as the year was coming to a close. It was either 2008, 2009. The year was coming to a close. And I sat down with my wife and we started to jot down all the different things that we want to accomplish next year. Mm-hmm. And for us to do that, we had to first look at this year. We said, oh gosh, with the Fit Pro newsletter product, we did this, and we want to get 1,000 more subscribers. And with my live event, we had 200 people at the event. We want to get 100 more people. And I remember we started breaking it down to every single product I had. The PT Business Course, Closed Client, System 9. And the reality is, I had so many things that I wanted to achieve an outcome on, I wasn't able to focus. And the end of that year, we had made some progress, but nothing monumental to write about. The future years, we only focused on two things: Fit Pro newsletter and the big seminars. Those were our big bread and butter products, and we only focused on that. Everything else was a byproduct of just making sales, getting traffic. And so for me, it was really valuable to see that if I can hyper-focus on one, maybe two goals for the year, like big goals to build my empire, and today now that's Fit Body Bootcamp, it's Fit Pro newsletter, and it's my seminars, right? Because when I do my seminars, I move people into my mastermind programs, and that's where I get to have the biggest impact in their lives. And so I think one of the biggest mistakes people make are writing down way too many things they want to accomplish and then really diluting their efforts.
Yeah, and there's an actual real-world example that you helped me with this year. So first of all, I'd say the analogy is if you had a shooting target, right? If you have a shooting target and you're a long way away and you use a shotgun, what are you going to get? You're going to get pellets spread all over the bullseye. But if you have a really high-powered rifle, you're just going to blow that bullseye away. And that's what you have to have as the focus. So I'm really lucky. I get to ride back and forth between your house and here when I'm staying at the guest house, the Keuilian guest house. I get to ride to HQ with B every day, or we're going to the gym, and we have these conversations. You know, sometimes they're goofy conversations, and sometimes they're real conversations about business. And I was telling you, like, hey, here are the 6 things I want to do for my new coaching program. And you said, no, it can only be 3. It can only be 3 of the 6. And since you helped me eliminate a few of them, I've just been able to focus, been able to fill a big event, been able to start the big work-life mastery program, all because you said, no, take those 6, cut them down to 3, right?
Yeah, and that's a great example, man. Just, about a year ago, we started developing your Perfect Life workshops.
Yeah.
Right? Like these workshops where you have 5 to 6 people in a room, you work with them for a day, you transform their life, give them a better work-life balance. Well, that's fantastic. But then you said, hey, next year I want to have a big live event. And we literally started planning it. Like we focused on one goal, we planned it. And it was a smash hit success.
Yeah, 265 people.
Right? Smash hit success. And you said, hey, at that live event, I want to launch a mastermind. And you did. And I got 15 people on that mastermind. And you're going to impact their lives on a deeper level. And so the more we can take the one biggest goal, goes back to what Joe Polish taught us, right? Which is, what is the one solution that solves 100 problems?
Right.
The way I look at it is, your big workshop, or seminar I should say, transformed a lot of people, 265 people. But we extracted 15 others who you're going to transform their lives in a much deeper level over a 12-month period, right? In exchange for a lot of money that they're giving you. Right? And so as you grow that mastermind, you just make more money, you make a bigger impact, their lives change. And so many times we tend to focus on, and I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to create a product, and we begin to dilute our focus and efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two quotes from Warren Buffett that I really love that really apply here. And the first one is, the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. And then he had this other story that is really quite famous in the Warren Buffett world, where I think he was on one of his NetJet flights, and he was talking to one of the pilots on the plane. And the pilot was telling him, Warren Buffett, about all the things he wanted to do. So Warren Buffett had him list the 25 things he wanted to do. And then Warren Buffett said, okay, give me the top 5. And then he scratched out everything underneath that and said, never think of these things again. And that's pretty hardcore. But imagine if you did that. Imagine like right now somebody's doing, well, I'm trying YouTube videos, I'm trying Facebook, I'm Instagram, podcasts, I'm doing all these things. What if you went all in on one of them? That's how you have a guy like Lewis Howes. That's how you have people who just write a whole bunch of books like Seth Godin, and they become very famous, very successful because they go all in on that one thing, right?
Sure, that's exactly right. And at the end of the day, what we're here to do is we're here to build an empire, right? If you're watching this or if you're listening to this podcast, then you're really supposed to think at a 10x level. We're building an empire. In other words, we're creating massive wealth and not just making money. And to be able to create massive wealth and massive impact, we have to go all in on one thing. At the end of the day, it's not the shotgun effort, but it is the high-powered sniper rifle that's going to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here's what you're going to do. This is what we do in the workshops, what we do at the retreats, and what I did with your team yesterday here actually as well. We walk you through a 90-day empire building process. So what you're going to do is think about, in the next 90 days, quarterly planning for your business. And you can do this for your personal stuff as well, but let's do it for business right now. So take out a piece of paper, not if you're driving, but take out a piece of paper if you're sitting down. In the top left-hand corner, you're going to write down your outcome goal. Now, an outcome goal is a numbers-based goal. So, if you're a Fit Body Bootcamp owner, what would be a numbers-based goal for like the next 90 days?
For example, in the next 90 days to get 150 new clients.
150 new clients. So that might be something if you have a facility. If you are a coach, it might be get another 20 members in your high-paid coaching program. Or it might be if you're a writer, it might be to write 30,000 words of your book. So that is your outcome goal. Now, here's the thing that our good friend Alan Cosgrove taught us, and he said to me, listen, you can't control the outcome goal. And he was talking about this in a weight loss example. Mrs. Jones comes in, she says, I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 10 weeks. Well, she might get sick or, she might have water retention. She's not going to control exactly what that scale says. But you know what she can control?
What's that?
The 3 action steps, the 3 biggest action steps that get her there. So we call these process goals, or in Canada, we call them process goals. Down here in America, we call them process goals. I managed to not screw that up.
You're so American. I love this.
I know. I am American now. And so 3 process goals are the 3 things that you control. So we go back to the weight loss example. We can't control exactly how much weight we're going to lose, but we can control going to Fit Body Bootcamp 4 times per week. Totally in our control. So that would be process goal number 1. Process goal number 2 is, using Diana's recipes and meal plans 90% of the time, sticking to that program. And then the third thing is drinking 3 liters of water a day or getting 8 hours of sleep. And if you do those 3 things, Mrs. Jones, you're going to get as close as possible to losing 20 pounds in the next 10 weeks or 90 days. Now, with your business, you look at that and you go, okay, what is a process goal that if I'm a Fit Body Bootcamp owner who wants 150 clients, what is one process goal that I control that will move me in that direction?
Right. So the one process goal, let's say a Fit Body Bootcamp owner or anyone who, for example, has a business where they serve people in that business and you want to get more of these people on board is really, as you said, 150 clients. Well, what do? What is the one process goal? Is every day I have to manage my Facebook funnel to make sure that I get a certain number of leads, and we call it the set, show, close.
Okay.
How many leads did we get? How many of those leads did we set up as an appointment so that we can sell? And then how many did we close? Set, show, close. And so if you break your 150 clients gained in 90 days, right? And you do the math and it ends up being what, I don't know, somewhere around like 1.5 or 1.7 clients gained.
Yep.
Then if you know that for every 5 appointments I have set, 3 will show, 1 will close, or 1.7 will close, and that'll get me to my 150 clients at the end of 90 days.
Yeah.
And that is like one process goal that we can use to control the outcome, because just praying for 150 clients at the end of 90 days isn't going to cut it.
Exactly. Second thing that somebody can do owning these facilities, whether you own a Fit Body or any other type of brick and mortar, whether you have a coaching business, is ask for referrals. So that's one of the things that I have in my process goal planning to build my coaching business. Going back to happy clients who've come to workshops, asking for referrals. You can do this if you own a restaurant, if you own a real estate agency. You can go to your happy clients and customers and say, hey, actually you have the script for this. How do you say this? I know this.
Yeah, this is my favorite script of all. So, and anyone who's watching this is more than welcome to use this, and you'll instantly start getting more referrals on the spot. And as soon as you sign up a brand new client or customer, I would say, hey, Craig, welcome aboard. It's nice to have you here at Fit Body Bootcamp. And as we help you achieve your fitness and fat loss results, can we count on you to help us achieve our goal of impacting 5,000 lives over the next 5 years here in our town? And of course, the person is going to say yes, right? As I help you achieve your goals, can I count on you to help me achieve my goals of impacting more people? They're going to say yes. And now that allows me to literally come up to you in the next week or two. Hey, Craig, how have your workouts been going? Oh, they've been going great. You feel more energy? Yes. Have you lost a couple pounds? Yes, I have. Great. Remember, as I said, as I help you achieve your goals, you'll help me achieve mine. What are 3 people that I can reach out to and offer them a free week of personal training here at our Fit Body Bootcamp location? And that's how we use referral generation. It's making it a condition of doing business, right? Again, yet another process goal. If I want 150 clients, well, maybe I can't close 1.7 people a day from a Facebook marketing funnel. But if I can get 0.7 a day from Facebook, and if I can get a referral a day and close them, I've got my job done. And so it goes back to having multiple streams in the water. Outcome, deadline, and then breaking it down into the chunks.
Awesome. Let's just, I know that I have actually a few real estate agents, friends of mine who might be watching right now. How would we do that script for? I mean, they could do it themselves, plug and play, but let's try and do it like, would it be something like, after you help them sell their house or buy their house, you're like, hey, Mrs. Jones, I've helped you, I really appreciated being able to help you, achieve your goal of selling your home or buying your home, your dream home. And I was wondering if you could help me with my goal of helping another 100 people find their dream home in this community.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And so once I got the listing from you, if I'm a real estate agent, once I got the listing from you, I would say, hey, Craig, thank you so much for trusting me in selling your home. And I hope that I can help you relocate to the home of your dreams. Now, as I make the selling process easy and convenient for you and profitable, can I count on you to refer 3 to 4 other friends of yours, neighbors, colleagues, et cetera, in the area who I can help find their dream home or sell their current home to get into their dream home? And they're going to say, yes, make the process fun, simple, and profitable for me, and I will refer people. This way, once the escrow is closed, now again, it's become a condition of business. In the beginning, and this is Robert Cialdini's commitment consistency method, right?
Right.
I've got you to commit to the idea of, if I produce the X outcome, that you will do Y for me. And the why is, now I'm going to say, Craig, were you happy with the sale? Were you happy with the fact that this was easy and convenient? Were you happy with the money that you got for your house? The answer is going to be yes across the board. Can you tell me 3 or 4 people? Can you introduce me via text message, via email, or just give me their contact info so that I can contact them and let them know that you referred them? And just simply by doing that, that lead that you're contacting is no longer ice cold, but they're super hot, which makes it so much easier to sell.
Awesome. Okay, so those are our first 2 process goals. Man, this is really great. So the third one, what about something on social media? We know that, hey, listen, if I do social media posts, if I do a YouTube video and I do, maybe an Instagram post or an Instagram video, I know that I can attract some leads, and then maybe I can get through direct messaging and get some clients there. So we could also put in that as a third process goal, to have this many posts per day or this many posts per week on
That's exactly
social.
And in fact, if I can just share a little nugget here, for all the empire builders watching and listening to this, it doesn't matter if you're in real estate or if you're in personal training. If you help someone create an outcome, in fact, you do this. At the end of every single one of your Perfect Life workshops, you take a picture with the 5 or 6 people, and then you post it up on social media. People who leave a comment and say, oh man, I could use a workshop like that. Oh man, I could use some work-life balance. You reach out to them through direct message, right? And this is how you fill those things up. Well, what we do in the fitness industry, this can work in the finance industry, in the real estate industry, dental industry, is once you've created the outcome, you take a picture of that client with yourself, right? And you ask them to post it to their social media, or you post it to your social media and you tag them. When you tag them, their friends and neighbors, co-workers start leaving comments. Oh my gosh, Sally, you've lost so much weight. You look amazing, right? And there you are with your personal trainer or your dentist or your real estate agent, whoever. And of course, as people leave comments and leave likes, remember, comments and likes are leads. And so instantly we can go right to reaching out to these people through private message and through direct message, and we do this all the time, and say, hey, look, thank you so much for leaving a comment on Sally's picture. I see that you're her friend. I would love to offer you a free week here at Fit Body Bootcamp to try us out, see we're right for you. And again, an ice cold lead becomes very warm and very responsive quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just the first half of goal setting done properly. We have our outcome goal, then we have our 3 process goals, and then we're actually going to break it down even faster, because still 90 days is a little bit abstract to people, because you're talking way down the line here, a couple of months. What can you do right now? Because you need to do something to get a victory that gives you momentum and motivation. So now I break it down with my clients and I say, okay, what can you do in the next 24 hours to move ahead on this big goal of getting 150 clients? Well, and maybe it's contacting somebody, maybe it's, filming some video, maybe it's going back and doing the referrals and going through your list of happy customers and reaching out. But you can do a lot in 24 hours to get the ball rolling. Because if you don't, then you don't get momentum and motivation. And if you don't have a little victory, you lose that progress. And then you're like, I'm just going to give up. So we can't let you do that. We have to get you fast wins. Just like when somebody comes to Fit Body Bootcamp, they're going to get a fast win by enjoying the workout, by making new friends, and then they're going to see a few pounds drop in the first week. That's what keeps people coming back. So we write down in our workshop what we're going to do in 24 hours, 72 hours, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, and 30 days. We build out a 30-day fast action blueprint. You must have this if you want to achieve your big goals and dreams in the next year, in the next 90 days, whatever it is. That's essential. So that's how we build it out. It's so detailed, so important to do that, and that's how you can achieve anything, transform anything, change any part of your life. Sound good?
Buddy, you said it better than I could ever say it myself. Folks, so this is it. If this is something that you want to do, you've got a big outcome goal that you want to achieve, you can't just make it a dream. You've got to set a deadline, and you've got to break it down to the daily chunks and take action every single day. Thanks for watching.
All right, so make sure you go to empirepodcast.com and watch all of our other shows.